This is Riverside Park. It's located in Port Orange, Florida. It was the site of the Dunlawton Plantation and also the site of the Battle of Dunlawton Plantation that took place during the Second Seminole War on January 17, 1836. So let's investigate this site a little further. The Second Seminole War broke out on December 28, 1835, with the Dade Massacre and the assassination of Brigadier General Wiley Thompson at Fort King. In January 1836, the Seminoles raided and burned farms and plantations south of St. Augustine, including the sugar plantations along the Matanzas, Tomoka, and Halifax rivers. On January 17, 1836, Brigadier General Joseph Hernandez, commander of the East Florida Sugar Mill region, ordered Major Benjamin A. Putnam, who led a detachment of local militia, including Captain Douglas Dummett, who was commander of the Mosquito Roarers militia, Lieutenant William Henry Williams, and Lieutenant James Orman III, total force of 38 men, south from their camp at Beulah Plantation to stop a Seminole raid on Dunlawton Plantation. Dunlawton Plantation was located south of present-day Daytona Beach on the west bank of the Halifax River in present-day Port Orange. Dunlawton Plantation was owned by Sarah Anderson, and the sugar plantation was operated by her sons, James and George. Major Putnam's expedition descended down Beulah Creek to the Halifax River in 3 boats, including a large whaler, with orders to recover abandoned stores not already destroyed by the Seminoles. As the militia approached Dunlawton Plantation, they observed a Seminole war party in occupation of the property, with the Anderson residence and several of their storehouses on fire. The Seminoles were led by Coacucci, also known as Wildcat, who in his headdress wore reflectors from the Mosquito Inlet recently destroyed by a hurricane on September 18, 1835. The militia landed on the shore and rushed the Seminoles, firing upon them and forcing the Seminoles to flee. Thereafter, the militia surveyed the damage and recoverable supplies. But the Seminoles later returned with a larger force, and the militia was unable to drive off the Seminoles after a fierce skirmish. So the militia retreated back to their boats, but the tide had gone out and the boats were stuck in the mud. In their effort to dislodge the boats from the sand, several militia were wounded, including Major Benjamin Putnam, Lieutenant James Orman III, who was shot 4 times, and Captain Douglas Dummett, who was shot in the neck. They abandoned the largest of the boats, the whaler, which was stuck too deep in the mud, and crowded into the 2 smaller boats. Lieutenant William Henry Williams was the last to board the boat. In a final defiant gesture, as he waded through the shallow water, he yanked his pants down and mooned the Seminoles, taunting, "Kiss my arse." However, according to Lieutenant James Orman III, Anderson was suddenly struck in his, quote, sitting down place, leaving a black mark and quite a painful impression for which he had no sympathy from us. The militia rode off, leaving the Seminoles in possession of Dunlawton Plantation and its stores. The militia suffered 1 killed, that was Ned Gould, the son of a judge, 6 slightly wounded, and 4 severely wounded. George Marks escaped by swimming across the Halifax River to safety. As we enjoy the beautiful Halifax riverfront, if you enjoyed this video of the Battle of Dunlawton Plantation, please click like, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you on our next adventure.